take your life seriously.
I've heard about your break-in. It was on social media. I wish I was there, bro. Could have been hiding in the back, choking them out. Yeah, I won't call them what I think. But so, what happened there? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, man. Not the best start to 2024. So I went up to London first time this year. The plan was that I was working with Reorg, the charity, in the morning, and then I was going to go into London in the evening to meet up with a brand that I'm going to be working with, and we got to go to the premiere of the new Jason Statham film, The Beekeeper. So quite an exciting couple of days for me. I was really looking forward to it. And normally what I do when I go to London is I stay in a hotel just outside of London, because it's 3.5 hours to get there, and then it's just random how many hours it would take you to battle into the centre of London. So I normally stay on the outskirts, but it's expensive to get Ubers in.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll try somewhere more central, where it's going to be cheaper and probably easier once I'm in there to get around to all these places. Anyway, I got to this new hotel at about 4:45 in the evening, and I'm disabled. I had my mobility car. I had my blue badges, so I'll go for the disabled spot. First of all, because it's closest to the front of the hotel, and it makes it all easier for me, right? Now, I don't know if this is just me, if it's a military thing or what, but I'm always a little bit security conscious. So it's great parking close to the entrance to the hotel, because there's always people going in and out.
Yeah.
On this particular occasion, there were 3 security cameras on the wall. It's the first thing I saw. I'm like, oh, cool, there's security cameras, there's a parking space. If I park there, my car will be secure. And I've only had the car 2 weeks, right? So anyway, I go in, booking for dinner at 6, go sort my room out, go down for dinner at 6, and then go back to my room to do what I normally do. Which I take my legs off, stretch, prep all my kit and my clothes for the next day, do some emails, and then chill out. So I got up the next day, I think it was about 8 o'clock, I was walking down to my car. And as I was going from the front to the back, there was all this, I didn't know it was glass, right? My back window was heavily tinted, but there was all this like shattered, what I thought was black plastic on the floor. So I was like, well, that's weird. I don't remember driving over anything, because it would have made the crunching sound as I drove over it. And as I got around the back, I looked, and my window had been shattered, and my bags had been stolen. Now, what's funny is, like I said, my windows are heavily tinted. I'm in a disabled bay. I'm by the front of the hotel where there's a lot of footfall. I'm under 3 cameras, and I had the parcel shelf pulled over. So someone would have had to walk up to my car, see 3 cameras, have to press their face up to the back of my tinted window to look in my boot, see that the parcel shelf is over, and assume there's something of value in there before smashing my window and grabbing it. Now, the alternative is somebody watched me pull up in the disabled bay, go to the boot of my car, open the boot and take my suitcase out, and leave my gym bag and my jiu-jitsu bag in there, close the boot, and then leave. Now, the thing that gets me about that is I always wear shorts. So whoever was watching, if they were watching, would have seen a man with 2 prosthetic legs and an arm missing, struggling with his bag at the boot of his car, and then go into a hotel. So they would have purposely targeted, right, a triple amputee to try and make a bit of money. Now, I got up the next day when I saw the damage, immediately got on the phone to the Motability scheme, who had me booked in within 45 minutes to get my window repaired. So I drove off, got my window repaired. It didn't inconvenience my day that much, and then I went about my business and did what I had to do. I had a very busy day, so I didn't really check my phone that often. So I was driving out of London, start checking my emails and my DMs, and this woman had messaged me. I didn't recognise her name. I opened one of the messages, and what caught my eye was that she had a picture attached with my 2 bags on it. So I read through it, and she had said that she had gone home and she had saw the contents of my bags spread out all over the back alley. She gathered them up. She saw a post that I put on social media about the break-in, and she wanted to return them to me because she lived literally around the corner from the hotel. So I got back and I was speaking to the manager because I wanted to review the CCTV footage, which I'll talk about in a minute. And she came in and I said, like, how do you know that these were mine? She said, I saw this post, someone tagged me on, I think it was the Facebook post, And I saw it, and I'd seen the bags, so I put the 2 and 2 together and wanted to bring them back to you. Now, what was interesting was that I got to the hotel at about 4:45 in the evening. She said, if I remember rightly, that she finished work at 8. So it was between, I think, 8 in the evening and 8:45 that she found my stuff. So that tells me someone was definitely watching me, because you'd assume someone would break in like midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was all done. The car had been broken into, the stuff stolen, looked through and dumped, all within about 3 hours. Anyway, when I reviewed the CCTV, you couldn't make it up. There's 6 disabled parking spots. The camera only focused on one, which was closest. I was in the second closest bay. It only focused on the bay that was closest to the cameras. You can see the bonnet of my car, and that's about it. The other 4 spaces have got no CCTV on. And after about 7 o'clock in the evening, the quality is so low, you can't make anything out anyway. Because I was watching these men that turned up in work vans, and they parked in one disabled bay and were transferring kit from one van to the other. And I was trying to read the number plates with the CCTV, and you can't see it. And it's not that far. It's not even like 10 meters distance, I don't think. So I was a little bit like, well, I said to the manager, don't you think, first of all, it'd be a good idea to have cameras that actually covered the 6 disabled bays you got here? And secondly, do you not think you should upgrade your software or your hardware so that you can actually see things?
Yeah.
Because I tried to explain to him, I was like disabled people are some of the most vulnerable people in society, right? And you've almost, I don't know if officially they have, but I would say they've got a duty of care to look after those people and their property. And, you know, on this occasion, nothing that bad was stolen. A set of my prosthetic legs went. The rest of it was just either clean or dirty gym kit. But I've got friends who have ventilators that breathe for them and medication that pretty much keeps them alive. And if someone had broken into their vehicle and, you know, stole their spare battery for their ventilator or their medication that they needed, then the consequences could have been much worse. And the idiot that broke into my car got absolutely nothing of value, like nothing at all. I don't know what they thought would have been valuable in my gym bags. They were obviously wrong, but it was a big inconvenience, and I've had to pay a couple quid to get, you know, access on my insurance to get my window repaired and everything. But I don't know, it's just, I just sat there thinking for a lot of the day, like, what kind of a person, if I'm right, what kind of a person would do that? They would sit there and observe a triple amputee come to a venue and target them purposely to steal their equipment, to make a bit of money. It's just crazy, mate. I don't know. There are obviously many very different kinds of people in the world. And I don't think I've ever come across anybody of that mindset of, oh, look, there's a vulnerable, disabled person who's an easy target. Let me make their life harder so I can earn a couple of quid by breaking into their vehicle and stealing their stuff.
Yeah, that is awful. But it's good news you got it back, though. That's really positive. And how quick that came back. And
I
that
did,
lady, big shout out to her.
I mean, she was great. The hotel were not great. And they emailed me since saying, we can't pay for any of the damages to your vehicle. The police, I reported it the same day, worked with the police. They closed the case. They said there's not enough evidence and it's not worth pursuing. So, you know, whoever it was is free to go about robbing the next person.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's not my job. It's above my pay grade. It's just disappointing. It just seems, if there were consequences like there used to be for actions like this, then maybe less people would break the law. But it just seems like there aren't that many consequences nowadays to running around doing what it is that you want to do.
It's true, but me and you's always about reap what you sow, that kind of mentality, and it'll come round one day. The
great thing was, because of social media, I had people willing to start GoFundMe pages if I didn't get my legs back. I had brands reaching out to me offering to give me replacement kit,
amazing,
gym kit, jiu-jitsu kit and all that stuff. So there's always a positive that comes out of it, right?